Eureka! You found us! Welcome to the Check Out California radio show, your key to California hospitality. Hosted by Rad Gantos, principal of Rad Gantos & Associates, a hospitality and commercial real estate design firm, and Craig Sullivan, executive vice president of Park West GC, a hospitality and commercial real estate general contractor. Check Out California is focused on our state's hospitality, travel, and tourism markets, and on the large part they play in California's vibrant and innovative economic diversity and unique quality of life. Now, here are your hosts, Rad Gantos and Craig Sullivan.
Good afternoon and welcome to Check Out California. This is Craig Sullivan.
And I'm Rod Gantos, and I am having a little bit of a problem today because usually my co-host sits to my right.
He's missing me.
Right?
We're in trouble.
He sits to my right. Yeah, he's sort of, like the angel and the devil thing. So he's usually the angel. Did I choke on saying that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a pause there. Yeah.
He's my angel on my right-hand side. Right. Hey, he's choking now, too.
Yeah, I'm choking
but
now
now
as well.
He's actually sitting across the way from me.
Yep.
And the reason why is because on occasion, we're going to basically do sort of an open mic situation. We're going to have people call in. We're going to call people. Everybody's really busy. Beginning of the year, it's active. The hospitality industry is just booming. And so on occasion, we're going to actually want to bring that word from, the sound of the reporter from the street, coming to you from wherever they're coming to us from. Or we may actually surprise people and call them.
Right, exactly. A little bit of both.
So who do we have anybody, any victims lined up today?
Well, we don't have any victims, but we've got a very good friend of the show and gave us a big plug on No Vacancy.
Oh, not him.
Yes. We've got the one, the only, the myth, the legend, the man, Mr. Glenn Hausman.
Mr. Hausman, are you there?
Hey. The guy that you call when no one else is available.
No. We had others, but I just wanted you first.
Glenn, I set it up so nicely. Why you got to torpedo it like that?
First of all, I want to tell you that the woman who announces your show is like the happiest person ever.
Isn't she?
She's
great.
She's probably married to that guy that used to do those Joseph A. Banks commercials. Joseph A. Banks.
Well,
so happy about that.
It is California hospitality, and things are legal here now, so everybody's really happy. So.
And it's also 74 degrees,
that really
Glenn.
Stopped everybody before.
Yeah, I'm sorry. How's your heat wave doing over there?
It's good. It is way up in the mid-20s today, so it's very exciting.
Man's walking around in his T-shirt.
Actually, my mankini. But come on.
There you go.
Mr. Hausman. No. Poor sportsmanship on that one.
Too funny. Hey, Glenn, I want to talk rumors and mergers and acquisitions with you.
You've been throwing out a whole bunch of rumors lately.
All right. So I totally got flamed on the Carlson Country Inn and Suites thing. But they did wind up changing their name today. So my sources were probably all confused about that. So now Country Inns and Suites by Radisson instead of Country Inns and Suites by Carlson. So
really?
I'd heard that those guys are going to be sold. I was told that is not the case from people on the inside of the organization, and I should call them next time I have a crazy rumor like that. But they did change the name to Country Inns and Suites by Carlson to by Radisson, which is interesting. I would have thought they might have wanted to divest themselves of that product altogether because it doesn't seem to fit in with the rest of the brand.
Agreed.
So it's good to see they're changing it. Do you guys think that when they change the name that they're going to refresh the look again? It's probably been 5 or 6 years since the last refresh, I think, to make it a little bit more to fit into the Radisson look and feel.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's probably time that 5 years.
Yeah, they're probably about a year or two short of the normal cycle, but they're going to probably go ahead and do it. They use that as an excuse for rebranding.
So let me ask you something, Glenn. Have you heard anything about any reshuffling in the franchise development side over there?
Well, I know that they've been going through a lot of changes over at Radisson and Carlson, or whatever they're calling themselves this week. A lot of folks are moving around, but I do think it seems like they're moving in the right direction. I've always liked that. I've always liked that company. I've always liked those people. Mm-hmm. To me, I think that the biggest challenge that they have is with everybody going into this consolidation game. How are they going to be able to keep up as a smaller company.
I absolutely agree, and you know from experience as well as I do. When you're traveling in Europe, Radisson is vastly different than what it is here in the United States, and I think Rad's stayed a few of them in Europe as well. So I'd like to see them reposition that brand and bring in some of the luster that they've got at the on the European side.
There's some time on the ground and legacy. I mean, these guys have some history.
Well, the Radisson was here in Newport Beach is now being repositioned with a new brand. So, we've got a lot of that going on. And that was an old, tired hotel.
Yeah.
Let's face it. I think most of their business was, business travel and flight crews. So, they really didn't, step up their game. Certainly not in the last cycle. And, hopefully they're going to have something really nice when they reposition it now.
Any other thoughts on where they're going with this, Glenn?
I'm not exactly sure what's going to be going on with these folks. They do have an annual conference coming up at the beginning of April, I believe. So I'm sure that they're going to reveal something and have some sort of significant announcement regarding the look and feel of their products.
No, are you going to be there? You're always on the move.
No, I think I'm actually. I think I have a scheduling conflict. I think I'm going to be at BD West out by you guys.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
In LA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. I do want to say one rumor that I am pretty confident about. All right.
Okay.
So I think if not very soon, then soon enough, we're going to see La Quinta get sold. And my guess is either to Choice or Wyndham.
Interesting.
Well, it's funny. Both are sponsors, as you are, for the California Lodging Investment Conference. So, I tried getting a hold of all of them earlier today to kind of run this past them, and I unfortunately didn't get a chance to talk to either organization today. But I think you're right on target, and I think La Quinta could fit well for either organization. I really can't see edging one out beyond the other. I think it'd be a good fit for both. What's your feeling?
I think it's going to come down to who's paying more.
Yeah, exactly.
What I
Which
think.
could be an interesting story in itself.
Mm-hmm.
How that rolls out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other M&A news you might have?
No, but my guess is by the end of this year, every hotel company will be owned by Marriott.
So, that may be a pretty safe bet. I don't know if you're going to get real good odds out of a bookmaker in Vegas.
Yeah.
So.
Honestly, my biggest concern is one of the things that I loved about the hospitality industry over the last 2 decades that I've been in it is that there's such a wide breadth of the types of people that are involved in it. The whole idea of mom and pop companies, the whole idea of renegade hoteliers creating new ideas and generating different types of products. But I'm really worried that we're getting to the point now, like we've seen in like the airline industry, where we're going to wind up with a very limited amount of companies that are running the entire show. If we got like 5 or 6 major companies, then it's going to be a lot more pressure, I think, on all the individual management companies and the hotel ownership groups and those kinds of stuff, where you've really got to play ball or go home with some of these big guys. And that concerns me for the future and our entrepreneurial spirit that we've done so great at promoting in our business.
I think you're absolutely right on that, Glenn. And as that unfolds, I mean, the airline industry is a great example. Movie studios and news organizations, same thing. They've all been folded into about 5 or 6 different companies. You got Disney acquiring 20th Century Fox movie and television production. It's going to be very interesting. We could have 2 or 3 owners controlling everything. So
I think guys, that would be controlling the sectors as we know them today.
Yeah.
Unlike the airline industry, where we basically, my alternative is planes, trains, or automobiles, is to actually get in a car and drive through snowbanks, or get on a train that could get derailed. There is no other form of getting in the air unless I have a Gulfstream, or I have some fighter pilot who's basically flying a propeller plane or something, that is going to carry me from one place to the other. I have to get on a plane.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing with
that's not quite true, Rad. I'm starting up Hausman rickshaws. So we'll run by your house, pick you up, and take you anywhere.
You know, it was bad. It was bad enough for me to envision you in your mankini. Now, for you to be a mankini and running a rickshaw through the middle of Manhattan is not a pretty picture, Mr. Husband. Okay.
I do also wear a fez, so that should distract.
Now, is that just for safety measures because it's red and probably has an LED light built into it?
Yes,
So it's like you know, was it car 52? Where are you?
Car 54.
Car 54. Where are you? So no, but I mean, it's interesting, right? Because this could be a consolidation of the sectors as we know them.
Right.
But when it comes to accommodations, you might have. I mean, we were talking to Alan Ray the other day, and you know, the word, what was it? Motique came up, right, with an outside corridor situation.
Well, yeah,
right?
that's what I was talking about, taking the old vintage
Right.
hotels, and instead of a boutique, they're a motique.
So yes, the entry cost at going into a certain scale in the industry may be becoming more and more difficult to enter into, but that may be innovation in a different sector.
Well, I think you also got to look at the market, and if you go into vertical markets such as Manhattan, where Glenn is, or San Francisco and Miami and various others, that's where I think Jim Butler and his team at JMBM were absolutely right on target in creating that phrase, hotel enhanced mixed use development.
Right.
You can cut the project up, you can do residential, you can do hotel, you can do Class A offices, various other things, some retail. Restaurant. So, hey, Glenn,
Yes, sir.
Brad was talking to me before the show, and he came up with a really good question. And it was...
Yeah, this should be good. I don't know what that question was.
Yeah, he doesn't remember. We're in California, okay? What are you seeing out there now for the hotels that you feel that are outside the box, that are bringing new lifeblood into the industry? I think I know what your answer is, because you've been very proactive with this particular hotel since its inception. So I wanted to hear what you're seeing and what you're thinking.
Do we dare use that overused word, disruptor?
Nah, let's not use disruptor.
Okay.
You mean like
Glenn Hausman is a disruptor. So.
Are we talking like Airbnb type of product?
No, more like your Margaritaville.
Oh, Margaritaville. Well, I love the guys at Margaritaville because I just think that they are so emblematic of where we're really headed to in society and culture.
Right.
Not that brand in particular, but the whole notion of breaking it down into things that fit our psychographics really well. Obviously, the boutique hotel business has been doing that great for decades.
Right.
But I think kind of like mirroring what we saw in the magazine business, when you start to get down to very, very specific niche properties, they fully understand what their audience is. I think in a way that no other company really gets in a very fundamental way. Then they could sell them on all sorts of other products because it's such an integrated company between that and the beer and the restaurants, and they have tried some sherbet this summer that had alcohol in it, all sorts of stuff.
Let me ask you this, Glenn: Is it because when you actually approach? I mean, I guess I'm maybe asking a rhetorical question here, but is it because that when you approach such integration, such level of sophisticated integration, the amount of energy, not so much the financial resources, but the amount of energy and thinking that goes into that, and the risk factor that you are stepping into that multi-layer of experience, right? That it really scares the living friggin' daylights out of people that are purely into an operational situation. Because it goes way beyond that.
But to be fair, Rad,
I'm just asking. I mean,
but the reason why I say to be fair is because while there's a huge amount of people that want to experience things in this way, there's still a massive amount of people that are just fine with the traditional hotel product.
Absolutely. I mean,
without question.
Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't even want to see a concierge. There is a place for that automated situation as well. I want to put my head down for 3 hours, and I'm done.
Now, with all the accolades to Margaritaville and what they're accomplishing, didn't we see that not too long ago with Hard Rock? And what happened with them?
They're building a building that looks like a guitar.
Yes, they are, and that looks really cool.
Yeah, except I was laughing my ass off that they didn't pay the royalties for Les Paul, basically, and actually built a Les Paul. They just made it a generic guitar. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Oops, sorry.
No, I didn't hear a thing.
Lost branding opportunity, Hard Rock.
I like what Hard Rock is doing. I like that they I haven't seen one yet because they just introduced the concept in June, but the Reverb Hotel concept that they created also plays into that. And then they have some interesting little pieces in there that differentiate the product from other stuff we've seen. The one notable thing, and I think it's leading to where the next new major hotel development trend can be, combining co-located workspace with a hotel kind of product.
That's your mixed
so
use.
the Reverb product is going to have a little bit of an element of that because they're hoping to have a place for people to work and sell food and drink during the day. But I think that there's opportunity in the industry to create a full-up brand that has the co-working space in there with a hotel.
I think it's a great idea. Didn't Moxie in New York City just do a little bit of that as well?
No, they just have a lot of public space that people can hang out
in. In a way, it's the same as the old concept of the full-service apartment, right? I mean, it's similar, except this is work-related. And if you think about people that are basically transplanted in certain areas for certain durations of time, it's perfect.
Yep. Yeah.
Because you're remotely working, you got the support infrastructure in that workspace, the WeWork kind of situation,
right?
And then you got the accommodations above. You know, Glenn, let me ask you this before we get off Hard Rock, okay? So if Hard Rock does what, and I'm being a little facetious, okay, but it's the beginning of the year, so excuse me, right? Okay, if Hard Rock is going to build a Hard Rock in Saudi Arabia or somewhere in the Middle East, for example, right? Is that guitar not going to be a guitar and it's going to be a lute now? I mean, is it a banjo in the South, or is it basically just always going to be a guitar? Because again, it's a good idea, but if I roll 5 of them out, then basically what is it? The LED lit guitar in blue versus the one in red? I mean,
no, it's actually going to be a burqa that they're going to be doing, a giant-sized burqa covering.
You know, don't knock it, dude. There's a lot of accommodations that can be built into there on a floor-by-floor level.
I think that's a
with
great
the penthouse
idea.
at the top with a couple of eye openings, but you know.
I like the idea of having different musical instruments for each property, but I bet you they're just going to stick with the guitar.
Yeah, no, I know, and I meant, and that's why I meant I'm meaning it facetiously because here's a situation. Oh yeah, it's a great first rendering. 5th rendering, is the concept still fresh? Is it just an odd-shaped building at that point?
Fine. It's a good question. Does it take off? You know,
I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to look good for a while. Unlike some buildings where you look at and go, "Wow, that's awesome."
How many of them will they build? And I'm not picking on Hard Rock. I'm just saying here's one of those situations where we want to reinvent, so we come up with something that somewhat is based on something simple. But then how repeatable is that?
I don't think that a design element such as that is extremely repeatable.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you have to find something else to create that, what Disney would call a weenie, a thing to draw you in.
Right.
Hey, speaking of Disney, what have you heard on the Star Wars hotels?
So they're keeping it really, quiet. I haven't heard anything new since July when they made the big announcement, or August, or whenever it was at G23. So that's kind of annoying, but they're going to have a long line of people like you and me.
Oh, absolutely.
More money than they can afford on it.
I got to tell you, I was down the street from Disneyland yesterday, and the spires for the Star Wars land that they've got just about completed are really taking shape. It's getting very intriguing as you're driving by either on the 5 freeway or one of the local streets where you can look up and see them. So it's going to be, quite the addition to Disneyland once that Star Wars land is done.
We're about 18 months out at this point.
Yes, we are.
I'm super excited about it, and I think it's gonna be a huge game changer in the theme park resort business. And I bet, when you look at the Star Wars hotel and those other things, I think we're going to see a big resurgence in smartly done theming in the hospitality industry.
I agree.
Well,
and I don't mean over-the-top type of stuff like we saw in Las Vegas in the mid-1990s.
Right.
No circus,
but more sense of place.
No, but I mean you kind of jumped in there, and I was going to say yes because it has an authenticity to it, and it's in this case it's very experiential. I mean, it's very immersive.
I actually went to Circus last week. I hadn't been there in like 15 years, and I'm like, let me just go and check this place out. I was reminded why I hadn't been there in like 15 years.
Hadn't changed,
Don't feed the animals.
Yeah, hadn't changed. Hey, we're a few days away. You're going to be out here in the Golden State. So I'm going to be...
You mean for the California Lodging
why is he coming out?
He's coming out for Alice. Well, he's coming out for Click as well. But
no, I'm not coming out for Alice.
You're not coming out for Alice.
Well, even more impressive.
I hate to say this. I have a speaking opportunity, and I'm shooting stuff for Here to Stay TV, a project that I do. Check out Here to Stay TV on YouTube. It's all in service departments and stuff. So I'm speaking at a conference called SAS Recharge, Service Department Summit Recharge in Amsterdam. And
nice.
I will be there for the whole week. And I'll be staying at the Zoku, which is attached, I believe, to a WeWork. So I think when I come back, I'll be able to share with you guys how
definitely.
that overlaps with this concept I have of creating a co-located workspace hotel together.
Hey, do a live broadcast from there, would you? I'd love to see you walking around there and get some impressions
even
about
if it's a Facebook feed or something.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that, and I'll try to realize that we're going to be like 9 or 10 hours apart or whatever it is, and try not to wake you up at 2 in the morning with it.
That's okay.
Greg doesn't sleep.
I don't sleep.
He doesn't sleep.
Yeah. So, well, then I guess you won't be out here till March for the California Lodging Investment Conference.
Right, he's not going out for Alice. He's going to come out for Click.
Yeah, he's coming out for Click. So
Dang,
I will.
As some of our listeners know, and certainly everybody in this room and on the other end of this phone, Glenn is moderating our opening panel, our hotel investment and due diligence panel. And we've already had our group call on that. It went very well. I'm really excited about having Glenn on board again this year. And Glenn, you are going to be doing some recording for the No Vacancy podcast and maybe some videos as well.
That's right. Oh, you got that right, buddy.
Nice.
I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that to be said, everybody, make sure you're there in person at the conference, because whatever I do will be after the fact, and you'll miss the moment. So go to CNLIconference.com and register for the event.
Well done.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for helping us out today and being on board with us.
And thanks for putting the show. Thanks for putting the show on your feed, Glenn. That's been awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'll get the next episode up as soon as possible, and then we'll get on a regular schedule, including this one as soon as we get it up.
I'll get it to you this afternoon, so it'll be there.
Excellent. Thanks for having me, guys, and I very much appreciate you thinking of having me on the show.
Glenn, it's 74 here, and I got the top down on the Beamer, so come on out.
All right. Thanks. I'm now disgusted by you. Great way to end the call.
That's all right. I'll smack him around for you.
If this was not a family program, I'd tell you how I really feel.
It really isn't, so you can at any time. But, oops, look, the time is gone.
Politicians might feel about entire continents. That's I feel where this is going.
Whole house, are you talking?
Glenn, thank you as always, my friend. I really appreciate it.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I think we're going to go to a break now, and then we're going to try and get our next guest on the phone. So,
imagine what it would feel like to lose everything. Your job, your home, your family, your dignity. This has happened to thousands of the men, women, veterans, and young adults we serve at Working Wardrobes. What do we do to help? We provide career development services, life skills workshops, job skills training. We provide the perfect interview outfit, and we get clients placed in jobs. Call Working Wardrobes, 714-210-2460. Donate, volunteer, invest, hire.
When it comes to pioneers in their respective industries, we all know the Apples, Starbucks, and Trader Joe's of the world. In the realm of recruiting, Decision Toolbox is the industry's best-kept secret. With 90% of their business from referrals and repeat customers. For over 20 years, Decision Toolbox's U.S.-based team of recruiters, sourcers, professional writers, quality personnel, and tech support has perfected a Six Sigma approach to talent management. No matter the size of the project, Decision Toolbox delivers incredible results. A cost per hire less than half of what contingency firms charge, with the winning candidate presented in an average of 14 days, all with a 12-month candidate warranty. With results like that, Decision Toolbox won't be a secret for long. Visit us at www.dtoolbox.com for more information. Imagine buying a newspaper and discovering that the news you're reading is 6 months old. There isn't much that stays the same for 6 months, and the same thing goes for background checks. In a time when so much outdated information is being passed around, it's good to know that People G2 offers something different. At People G2, we provide today's intelligence, not yesterday's news. Our value-added approach offers you a fully FCRA-compliant solution that includes up-to-the-minute information. By combining industry-leading technology with old-school human investigation, People G2 is able to give you information that is accurate right now, delivered quickly through our online system or integrated with your HR system. So ask yourself, are you comfortable working with old news, or are you ready for a different kind of background check company? Visit peopleg2.com or call 800-630-2880. That's 800-630-2880 or peopleg2.com.
I'm on the observation deck of the Empire State Building to demonstrate how much material Waste Management recycles. As North America's largest residential recycler, last year alone, Waste Management recycled 12.9 million tons. How much is that? Let's do the math. Carry the 6. It's enough to fill this building more than 27 times. With experience like that, we're bound to have a program that can help your business recycle. Talk to Waste Management or visit thinkgreen.com.
When you use the Premier Rewards Gold Card from American Express, the rewards points can keep on multiplying. Buy 3 with triple points on airfare. Buy 2 with double points on gas and groceries. And a single point for pretty much every other dollar you spend on the card. Then, start choosing from over 1 million rewards to redeem all those points. Apply today and the annual fee for the first year is on us. Call 1-800-AXP-GOLD or visit axpgold.com. The annual fee for the card is $175. See terms, conditions, and restrictions at axpgold.com.
All right, we're back, and I think your last guest was correct. He was the only one that wanted to come on today. Here, we've been calling people one after another. Here, they're all
well,
not answering.
I think it's just because when you start off with Mr. Glenn Hausman,
where can you go?
he can be really a little bit intimidating.
People just
If he's-
decided
if
He is the master.
he's
they're
the
opting
master.
out. Right.
Yeah.
He is the master.
The
You
Messiah.
know-
Didn't we call him the Messiah?
No.
No, I think we did. At one point, I think I called him the Messiah.
Well, you called me the wise man.
Yeah, you're the wise man. He's the Messiah.
But, we're at an interesting point right now in February. We've got Alice, the America's Lodging Investment Summit, coming up next week. We're going to have about 3,000, maybe more, hotel professionals all descending into Los Angeles. All the hotels around LA Live are sold out. This is the first big international hotel conference in the United States of the year.
Yeah,
so
it kicks off the year.
yeah, so you've got all the brands, you've got all their franchise development teams, you've got all the third-party professionals, attorneys, accountants, construction companies, designers, architects, everybody's there. So, I think everybody's trying to get everything done that they can. I know that some properties, especially here in Southern California, were scheduled to trade hands this week, and some of them started last week. Can't disclose them as of yet, but we will in the next week or two after the escrows have closed.
Keep them guessing a little bit.
So yeah, but I think that's part of it. So business has to move on and all that. And I do want to thank Glenn for taking the time and joining us today. And I also want to encourage everybody to go to the Checkout California social media pages and also the California Lodging Investment Conference social media pages. I posted a preview there of the stage that my co-host and friend Rad Gantos has designed for Click 2, and
Which
it's pretty amazing.
Which was supposed to be for his eyes only, since it was a very preliminary thing.
Yeah, but
went
he's
ahead
going to
and
send an
outed me
update.
anyway.
So
He went out and outed me already.
Yeah, I already did. So
Took the tease out of it for me.
well, now you're going to make some changes. We're going to talk about a couple of things with that.
Oh, wait, hold on. So
you
you outed me in order to basically give me change orders?
No, I'm not giving you change orders. So, but I was just so impressed with it. I sat on it for about a day.
Thank you.
And,
Yeah, you did actually.
I just said no, I got to put this out here. It was just exciting to share with, certainly everybody who attended Click last year and everybody that's registered so far. early discount is expiring at the end of the month,
Yes.
so please get in there and save yourself some money and get registered at
What's the promo code?
cliconference.com, and the promo code is CheckoutCA. So if you are following us on Checkout California, there's your discount code. Save some money.
CLIconference.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to it.
You know, I do want to. You brought up the stage. I want to. I won't say who it is because we're in the process of confirming. But I just want to say thank you to the people that have indicated interest in basically helping with the stage, and we will bring them up. Greg's pretty good about getting the word out for everybody that's helping with this. It's very exciting. I think. You know, given the high bar that was set last year, I think this is going to be a great thing this year. I do want to bring up one thing that I've been kind of interested in is California, which is our focus, right?
Yep.
We have a lot of areas. I mean, we keep talking about downtown LA, which has been kind of depressed for a long time, and now it's basically being gentrified, if you will.
Yeah.
Right. But we have a lot of areas that are built out.
We do.
Right?
We do.
We have a very much a real estate culture in Southern California.
Yeah.
Build it, that's the economic engine, et cetera,
Yeah.
right? And so what do you think is going to happen in a lot of these very desirable areas? And then I'm putting the question out, and anybody wants to call on this, I'm really intrigued, right?
Yeah.
Because I think there's opportunities, but what path do we take? Because a lot of places that have really depended on their economic engines to be based on real estate development and tracts and large developments and so forth and so on, those places are now built out.
Yeah.
And you might even have issues with things like coastal and difficulty with basically building multiple stories on a property that's now,
general plans in all these areas now.
Do you think we're going to see an expansion on the hospitality industry beyond the concept of simply construction and development? I mean, we're both very much involved in that side of it, but are we looking at a more evolved, sophisticated offering as far as like heritage tourism, unique focused destination draws that go beyond just basically building the thing? Are there going to be multiple partnerships with other things that are maybe more open space, retail, or is everything still going to be build it, put it all under one roof, put it under one management company? I'm just really curious about these areas that are...
I think there's a lot of different changes there. Let's start with retail and what we saw over the holiday season.
Oh my gosh!
With everything that was ordered online versus brick and mortars, and then we get through the end of the year and Sam's Club's closing 62 stores around the country. May Company has started to close stores. Sears, Kmart closing stores.
The big Macy's at the Irvine Spectrum being converted into a 2-story H&M. But then here's the kicker, right, is that there's a Hello Kitty store that's going to have cocktails. Okay, and
I can't even comment on
the
that.
shaking of your head is exactly what I did when I heard that, and I asked, and it was told to me by a friend of mine who's a woman our age. And she basically said, well, yeah, and she's in retail. And she said, yes, well, because some of the girls that got into Hello Kitty back in the day, continue to still hold on to that culture. And so now they're older, and so now Hello Kitty is a cocktail tradition. And I said, you know what? There's so many things that are in my mind just conflicted and wrong with that visual.
Right. It's like going into Gary's and having drinks and then spending, $3,000 for clothes because you're half hammered. So
no, I can do that actually.
Yeah,
right?
you can, but do you
want
to?
It's like going into Chuck E. Cheese and basically having a full bar with rye and cigars. Okay. All right, so we got another caller, but I mean, I do want to put that question out, and throughout all the shows that we have, if anybody wants to talk about this in terms of a wider hospitality thing that's not just purely construction, I'm really intrigued because I think that's a mix that we really have not cultivated so much.
And if you want to be a guest in the studio with us, call our engineer, Paul. He'll be glad to talk to you, and we'll get you booked in.
What number can they call you at, Paul?
949-330-7761. 949-330-7761. Operator standing by. We do have Stacy on the phone.
Wonderful.
Oh, excellent. Let's talk to Stacy.
Say hi, Stacy.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Stacy. Happy New Year.
thanks. Happy New Year to you as well.
Sorry for the late notice, and but thank you very much for joining us for a little bit this afternoon. How have you been? How is Crew OC? And what stories can you share with us?
How was the holidays?
Yeah, well, Crew OC is fantastic. We've gotten off to a great start already. We've got, memberships are rolling in. We've got about 15 applications that just came in, which is exciting.
I know two of them.
I know. We got Craig is joining and Nancy, so it's very exciting. I also wanted to let you know we've got our very first luncheon coming up on February 6th, which, you guessed it, we're actually talking about hospitality and how it's affecting Orange County, and we've got some really great guests. So stay tuned for more information on that. And then right now I'm actually in Orlando, Florida, calling from the Pasco Suite. We're out here for the National Multifamily Housing Conference with 5,000 of our closest friends. So
very nice. Well, you can count at least Nancy and I in for that lunch in February. I know Rad's checking his calendar right now.
I just put it in too.
So
Stacey,
he'll be there as
sure.
well. So we'll definitely be there.
Where do people get? Can you give out the website again for people who are interested to find out more about that and other events that you guys put on?
Yes, we are. It's www.crew-oc.org. I think I mentioned .com before, but it's .org. I always have to remember that. So crew-oc.org.
So crew-oc.org.
Yeah.
Correct. And that will take you to our main homepage, and you can go on to the upcoming events, and you can actually register online to attend.
Perfect.
Awesome.
I will get registered for that this afternoon.
So how is Orlando?
It's at the Pacific Club.
Oh, it's at the Pacific Club?
Newport Beach.
Perfect.
Very nice.
So tell us about your conference you're at back there, and you're at the Pasco Suite. So that sounds pretty nice. Like you're previewing multifamily development around the nation and some of your projects.
We're down here in Orlando. They hold it here every 2 years. So last year was San Diego. We're back in Orlando. And I have probably one of the best views up here. I've got a view of Epcot Center, Disney World, and the golf course. So I'm not complaining.
Nice.
So I actually, right now, while I'm on air, I had to sneak away to the bedroom because we have a full meeting going on with one of our top property management companies going on in the suite portion.
Oh, nice.
So,
thank you.
But this conference is going very, very well. There's a lot of talk on the streets of new development. Are rents going to stay still? Are they going to keep increasing? What parts of the country are hotter than others? And, Florida right now is one of the hotter markets. There's a lot of property and a lot of development coming out down here. So just this morning we went and looked at 2 newly constructed properties within 20 minutes of the Waldorf where we're at. So
very nice.
Beautiful, beautiful properties, all, 300 plus units. And, the supply and demand, people are still wanting to rent and have a fully amenitized apartment building. So, we've met with some partners that we're going to look to do some development opportunities with throughout the country, some property management companies, and a lot of our current relationships with, KeyBank and Greystar and some of the big names across the country. So overall, it's a great conference.
So how are we faring, Stacey, in California relevant to the rest of the country when you hear a bunch of people basically talking about how California is saddled with a lot of, things going against it.
Regulations
and new taxes and add-ons and so forth. How do we fare, both from your perspective and from others? Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, California is still not up to where we need to be as far as development goes. The problem that's facing us, though, is the construction costs are increasing, which is causing delays on some of the development projects. And then by the time they're done doing construction, their prices tend to be a lot higher than anticipated when they first rolled out this plan to build.
Sure.
And so it's making owners fork over more money up front and hoping that you're going to get that return, depending on how long your hold period is. We hold 7 to 10 years typically, unless the market dictates sooner. So I think that's a concern for people, is newly constructed ones. Are they worth the money? Are you going to get what you're putting into it?
Right.
Value add is still hot on everybody's mind. Everybody wants those value add plays, but they're hard to find.
And they've got to be getting harder and harder as well. I think
Sure.
that, whether, let's take a look at what used to be Oakwood Garden Apartments, and, people come in, picked up the one in Long Beach, another one up in, I think, next to Warner Brothers up in L.A., and they're coming in there and blowing them out and repositioning them and doing a wonderful job with
The
them.
first place I ever rented was up in Claremont, and it was in Oakwood in '85.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Stacy, any possibilities you guys might do more of a mixed use with maybe a hotel component to one of your multifamily developments in an urban area?
Any conversation on those?
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. A lot of the mixed use that I see has got, it does have the retail component, it has multifamily, and then either it's near a hotel or a new hotel's being built right next to it. But yeah, I mean, we've looked at doing something similar to that where it does have a hotel portion to it as well as multifamily, because you look at everyone that rents and you have family that visits, so it makes sense to build a hotel right next to it so your family can come and visit and they stay right next to you.
Well, especially in that vertical market, you can have room service go to both components of it. You could
That's true.
You could almost put on a float component to their rent, where if they want to have a meal in the hotel or delivered, they can just sign for it and you charge it to them at the end of the month, along with cleaning their car and maid service if they want it. So.
Well, I was listening to something that my wife actually forwarded to me. That's strange to say, right? I listened to something my wife sent me actually, but it was actually fascinating. It was a lady that actually had worked as an engineer in DuPont, and I believe I got the company right. And then she basically went and took mechanics classes, and she basically then turned around and left DuPont and set up a car repair shop. And she hired nothing but women mechanics, right? But in her car repair shop, she also then opened a nail salon, right? And basically, it was based on a very simple system where she now had these cross services. She had a cafe, she had a nail salon, she had the mechanic thing, right? Two things. She wanted to bring women in that were bringing their cars and actually show them what it is that they're doing, so that it took away the sort of the mystery, right? And she realized that whenever she was working at DuPont and she wanted to go take care of her car, she would basically take her car to somewhere where there was a nail salon nearby. So she could do two things at the same time when her car is being repaired, right? So here was this hybrid concept of basically a car dealership in a way, right? And today I had a conversation with somebody else who had worked at one of the main car dealerships out here, one of them like Lexus or something out here. And she said that she had proposed that to them about 3 years ago and they never did anything because it was a male-dominated infrastructure there.
Their loss.
So it's interesting to me when I hear these stories, and I get in a longer about way, because it's a repurposing or a rethinking of these things. And when you were here on the show, we talked about the possibility, what's happening with malls. So I'm curious, at this conference, is there a discussion and is there any traction that's happening relevant to repositioning malls, underperforming retail, any of that stuff?
Well, a lot of people aren't really discussing retail here. They're focused on multifamily. Most of the people here are either brokers or owners of multifamily. However, it does affect multifamily properties. Yes. I'll give you an instance. We were talking about the Laguna Hills Mall on the last show.
Yep.
And I went into the Macy's there the other day and it said closeout, and I'm like, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I went in and they're closing as of March. That Macy's is out of business. They're not coming back. They ended up selling their land. Macy's owned the land there, and they sold the land to, I think, Merlone Geyer, who owns the mall now.
Yep.
And that's crazy. And they have that new multifamily project that just went in next to the mall. So
yes, ma'am.
Hopefully they lease up and they get this construction underway so that it is an appealing place to live, and the walkability factors in there.
Exactly. Yeah. The appeal to the residential component next door. Now,
So I guess that's a concern that's talked about at this conference, is the retail and what's happening with that, and is it going to affect the people leasing these multifamily units? So yeah,
and I think in a roundabout way, that's what I was trying to get out of you is yes, and I mean it's really funny for me, who was driven by that mall for the last 20-some years, right?
Yeah.
And at some point you stopped looking because it was just like an eyesore situation, that it could very well do into mall repositioning in this part of the country,
what like the lab and the camp did for the sort of the anti-retail in the mid-90s. It could very well be that we will be talking about the Laguna Hills Mall as sort of this experimental thing that really got it right.
Yeah, exactly. We hope so.
It's funny, yeah.
Hey, Stacy, we'll definitely see you on the 6th at your luncheon. If there's anything that you need from me on that, please let me know. And I appreciate everything that you're doing to promote the California Lodging Investment Conference within Crew OC. And we're looking forward to having you and the membership there, along with a lot of other great people that hopefully will be joining Crew as well, because I think you've got a tremendous organization, and I want to see more of your team inside the hospitality community.
Me too. I agree. And thank you guys for all you do, and we'll definitely support you in any way we can, and I look forward to seeing you at the luncheon.
You got it. Thank you.
Florida, and safe travels.
Safe travels, Stacy.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Stacy, for calling in. That was a great pleasure. She is just such, she's one of those rare individuals that, came into both of our lives at the same time. And she's just remarkable. I love her approach to business and her approach, and she's now the current president of Crew OC, and I think she's going to do some really spectacular things for that organization.
And again, that website is crew, crew.oc.org. Go check it out. I haven't.
Please become a member.
Become a member. Yeah, I mean, Greg did send in his application. I'm looking into it. You just heard they have a thing coming up that's basically whole hospitality focused. It's really fascinating. I don't think a week goes by without me having some kind of conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, that's involved in the industry, where we do not talk about how the one of the main attractions, whatever side of it that you're servicing, whether it's construction or operations or whatever, that one of the things that's really a main attraction for us to be involved in this industry for as long as we have been involved in this industry is the unpredictability.
Right.
Is the opportunity, is the reinvention factor, and that it's so wide open.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
I mean, I had a conversation about that this morning, right? About and whether it's based on underperforming, or whether just taking this as a sort of a launch pad to the next evolution of what is to come.
Yeah.
Scalability factor.
Right.
Since you could find a way to make the numbers work, you're not limited.
And those are all great points and things that we need to cover, not only between ourselves on the show, but having guests call in. And matter of fact, I think Paul's
do you have
telling us we've got somebody
on the line.
on.
We have a gentleman, I believe it's Artie Garfinkel. Is that it?
Artie Garfinkel.
That's me.
Artie, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good. To the audience that doesn't know, Artie Garfinkel heads the All-Star Group in the Commercial Real Estate Lending Conference, which I used to co-chair with him a number of years ago. Arnie is family. He's a great friend. He's an outstanding commercial real estate mortgage broker as well. And he's joining us today. And Arnie, thank you for making the time to be on Checkout California.
Hey, no problem. Pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you.
So,
yes,
your conference is coming up in April. My conference is coming up in March.
Yeah.
And you're getting no sleep either.
No. Yeah, I'm bombarded with all your social media.
Yeah. Somebody needs to take Twitter away from Greg.
Yeah, my gosh. I mean, I see you put up the stage already.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
You can't give him anything.
Mr. Gantos's design. I had to share it. I kept it under wraps for 24 hours, and that was
24 hours. I think I got it like 2 seconds after you got it.
Well, you did, but you were the only other one I shared it with. So
Well, I'm glad that he actually at least got it approved by somebody before he put it out to the masses.
No, it's exciting. I'm glad to be helping you out with that and everything else. And yeah, you do a great job with Click, and we're doing the hospitality session at my conference again this year.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're going to put the panel together pretty quickly on that and go from there. yeah, I think we'll probably have Mr. Gantos join us for that conference as well.
That would be a privilege and an
he
honor,
will be the
gentlemen.
new one to join Larry Broughton and Stephen South. So
Wonderful. Oh, that's great.
I look forward to that. Thank
we'll be
you, guys.
doing that. So it'll be a fun, fast-paced 45 minutes at your conference in Long Beach. Now,
Forget
also
about
speak.
mine. Let's talk about yours.
Well, yeah, let's talk about Click. You know, it's March 8th.
I think he's kind of hesitant to talk about Click. What do you think?
No, not Craig.
Not me. Not
You
me.
I think Craig will go, "Hi, I'm Craig Click Sullivan."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I think he's actually filed the papers for a change of name.
I have. I will be Click One from now on.
I just it just amazes. Sometimes I'll go on Instagram or LinkedIn, just like 6 in a row.
Actually, hold on. Let me see if I can get this.
There we go.
I need a louder clicker.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No, but no, it's great. I mean, for anybody in hospitality, especially here in California, that one is the ideal. It focuses on local.
Indeed.
And it really gives you an insight, much better on a local basis than some of the, like you got the one coming up next week, Alice, and Meet the Money in May. This one is definitely more focused on just California, which is great for anybody that's interested, especially in Orange County, because Orange County is like what? The hospitality
yeah, between
center
San
of the
Francisco
world.
and Orange County and San Diego, LA, those are the top markets in the state. And yeah, you're right. We've got Disney and everything that comes with that, and Universal and Los Angeles and the vibrant downtown market they've finally been able to create there. And then you look at the beach communities and up and down California, and hospitality plays a huge factor in that. From Eureka to San Diego.
Eureka, San Diego. No, it's funny. We talk about Orange County, and Orange County, in a certain way, doesn't get its due.
No,
it's like what I think we looked at it when we were doing the show, and it turned out that Orange County actually has a brand.
Yeah.
But the brand is sort of like the minute you start talking about the brand, you look around and it's like, who's promoting actually Orange County? And there's nobody really promoting Orange County.
Yeah.
They're promoting the individual cities, unless it's something like a draw like Disney, right? And then it's like Anaheim, but then again, it's Visit Anaheim or whatever. It's fascinating because I remember even when I was working for W18G in Newport Beach, and people were like, well, why are you working in Newport?
You want to tell everybody who that is in case they don't know?
Wimberley, Allison, Tongangu, great company, architectural firm. I had the honor working with them when they set up their interiors department. First time. A gentleman's name is David Weisberg, who passed away, was a wonderful guy, and I was like a third person who was brought in because it's the same normal thing, right? Client wanted to call one person on a Monday morning. And talk to the architect and the designer and all this stuff and basically say, hey, what the heck's going on with my project? So everybody would like go, wait, hold on, you're involved in like architecture or design and you're in Orange County? It's like, aren't you just got a bunch of
But you're an international firm that's doing all of Vegas and the Middle East.
Right, and the inside joke was that everybody showed up at WATG's door, knocked on our doors, and gave us money to basically design for them. And the busiest day wasn't a Monday, wasn't a Tuesday. The busiest day was a Friday, because then they had their family in tow and they hung out in Disneyland or at the beach, right, or Newport Beach or Fashion Island. It was fascinating that there's this sort of stereotype about Orange County not having this talent pool and base, whether it comes to hospitality or whatever, and yet it is absolutely the opposite.
Yeah.
And we are centrally located. I mean, you can draw from San Diego. If I was in San Diego, I'd rather come to Orange County than go up to L.A.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, no, definitely.
And the people in L.A. on the flip side or Ventura would rather come to Orange County than drive all the way down to San Diego.
So I'm trying.
Like I do 2 events in Southern California. Well, actually, my big event is called the Southern California Commercial Real Estate Lending Conference. I don't even call L.A. or Long Beach. I call it Southern California. So, and I also do one in San Diego on Carlsbad. And we get people from Orange County have the ability to go to both because it's really, literally right smack in the middle.
Oh yeah, you're like Carlsbad, you're 20 minutes away from me, and you're pulling from San Diego, you're pulling all the way up from North Orange County, Inland Empire, you're pulling from there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty fascinating how we were just we're surprised as all get out when we were looking at it and going, well, who's promoting Orange County? And we're
right.
like, hey, Greg, nobody's promoting Orange County. Maybe that's
we
what
are.
we should be
we
doing.
should do it.
Promoting
Yeah.
Orange County.
Yeah, we're the new group. So, hey, Arnie. Besides all of your help with the conferences last year and this year, certainly, I did want to let the audience know that you will be donating passes to your conference.
Yeah, I'm going to send out 2 free passes to the Los Angeles event, and I might even offer an annual pass, so that allows me to come to all 3 events as well.
Very good.
Yeah, so we'll when we get closer, I'll see what
make
we
that
come up with.
determination.
That's very generous. Yeah,
at the very least, it'll be 2.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, if you have anything to do with commercial real estate,
right.
we have what we do at our event. It's very interesting. We might even try to do that at Click maybe next year if we get enough lenders. We do something called the Loan Makers Forum.
Yeah.
Which is like Shark Tank for lending.
Yeah.
20 lenders on the stage. They tell you what kind of loans they do, and then the audience can actually submit loans to them live. And they compete live.
They get the competition gets pretty intense too.
Yeah,
so
it's
now,
fun.
if you want to close in about 15 minutes and no paperwork other than a statement of identity, you go to Uncle Chuck at Fidelity Mortgage Brokers. So or lenders rather. So
yeah.
Uncle Chuck is the hard money guy, and he'll get that done immediately. So I've sent some people to him, and I've used him in the past as well. And he's also part of Click. So, Arnie.
Yes.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thanks
you
for having
calling
me.
in.
Great to have you on the show.
We will have you in the studio on the 7th before
be there.
Click. So again, early registration expires on January 31st. You can check in for the California Lodging Investment Conference at cliconference.com.
Okay, so you plugged yours. I think it's only fair that he plugs his.
Absolutely. That was where I was going next. But mine's first. So.
Mine is April 11th at the Long Beach Hilton. We usually have about 300 attendees. Go to CRELC.com. That stands for Commercial Real Estate and Lending Conference. And we actually just started registration, so you could start registering for that one. But love to have you. I'll have more information about that event at yours, and of course I'll talk when I'm there again in the studio.
We have a Checkout California discount code for attendees for your conference?
I will create one.
Perfect.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll get that out
definitely
there.
create one.
Yeah, we'll get that out to people. Have a great evening.
Okay, guys.
Great to have you.
Thank you,
for having
Arnie.
me.
Looking forward
Take
to seeing
care.
you.
Give Bonnie my best.
I will. Bye.
Bye. Great show.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been a different format for us, but it's
yeah.
still been lively and upbeat and moving.
Well, but
so.
I think that's something we were talking about earlier in the last year, and we was like, okay, we like the fact that we love having guests in the show, and so please, if you want to be on the show, check out California.
Call
Paul.
Call Paul.
Paul, what's the number?
I've written it on my hand. Let me look. I can't see it.
The hand
949.
that shakes, doesn't it?
yeah. 94.
You'd have to listen to the.
You'd have to
live
listen to
in
the last
order
show to understand that. 949-330-7761. Operator standing by.
But hey, let's try giving Drew Hardy a quick call again before we leave.
While Paul's calling him, I'll also say that you can always reach out to us on the Checkout California Facebook page. You can always drop us an email. You can call me, 949-212-8299.
You can call me at 949-500-8300.
So definitely get hold of us. We're always booking in advance.
Yeah.
And we book fast. So we really wanted to also throw in some of this kind of format show once in a while and have people call in, because we get more than one person in the studio. And at the same time, it may be current and timely, like what people are dealing with. Like we know some people that are handling certain things, like with Glenn, he was putting out these rumors. So it's like, rather than wait till get him into the studio for a show or have him call in and spend the hour, we wanted to just tap into some of the stuff that's right now happening that he's covering.
It was fresh, yeah.
It's fresh. So we do like that, and we would love to have you guys, connect with us and get you on a schedule, whether you're a call-in or in a studio. Always good to have you in studio.
Do we have?
It's just much more fun, and we usually have to have lunch beforehand. So.
Right, that's true. That's
except
true.
for Rad, because he does his show before.
Right, so basically, I don't know what the deal is with him hosting lunches when I can't be there, but you know what? He pays for it in beer afterwards.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
Kind of balances out.
There we go.
Okay, do we have somebody else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, we're done. So thank you, Paul, for manning the board as always, and thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
I like this. I think we should do this
fun.
a couple more times.
We should do this at least one show a month, maybe,
right,
or every couple of months.
So first, and
let's add a third show. Let's do this 3 times a month.
There you go.
You want to do that?
I'm thinking so.
Okay. I'll talk him out of it later, but no, but because I'm actually launching one more show, so I'm going to have 3 shows.
Okay, wait a minute. If he's doing 3 shows, Paul, I want a second show, okay? And it's going to be jazz, blues, and rock.
Wow, so now you're talking. Now you're talking my thing.
We've got to have a library in here.
Am I going to get you a blue?
We'll start
you and Paul
music.
doing jazz, blues, and rock.
Easy.
Okay. Live entertainment?
No.
Okay.
Will we get Craig to play his? Will we get Craig to play his bass ever again?
Yeah, I'll bring in my bass.
I'm envisioning blue light and a lot of smoke.
What?
Don't even go there, Paul. Right? Hash bash. But listen, seriously, get a hold of us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and check out California.
Check out California, and remember to check out CLIC, California Lodging Investment Conference. I want to thank my partners and the guys I work for at Park West General Contractors for supporting the show. My co-host, Rad Gantos and Gantos Associates, great job on the stage.
Thank you, sir.
Really, truly appreciate it.
That.
Looking forward to it. Larry Bronton, if you're out there, and Stephen Seft, I need to talk to both you guys because we're doing our road show at Arnie's next conference in April, and Rad's going to join us. So should really be a fast-paced, great day. Maybe we'll bring Paul out there and we'll do a remote from the Southern California Commercial Real Estate Lending Conference.
Do I get lunch?
Yes, you get a free lunch.
There you go.
I'll be busy, but you'll get lunch.
Yeah, you'll be busy, but he'll have a free lunch. And please remember to register for CLIC at cliconference.com and use the discount code CHECKOUTCA.
And go out and check out California, people.
Thank you for being our guest today on Check Out California. We look forward to having you as a guest with us again in 2 weeks. Until then, you can always reach us through our Check Out California Facebook page or by emailing us at checkoutcalifornia@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. So do let us know what you think of the show and what areas of interest you'd like to see us cover in the future. Your feedback is very important to us as we continue to bring you the best hospitality our Golden State has to offer. Until next time, may all your days be filled with sunsets and palm trees.